Hello everyone, welcome to an exciting session on IFRS-2 Share Based Payment. My objective here is to provide a brief introduction to the standard. Now IFRS-2 deals with share-based payment. That's payment based on shares, and that's self-explanatory, right? Let's look into the background of the standard. Now historically, majority of the companies which procured goods and services made the payments through cash. It could be through checks, wire transfers, etc. However, we are seeing a trend recently where a number of companies are making payments towards services, especially executive and employee pay, using share-based payment transactions. They could be shares or share options. Let's take two recent examples. The first example is of a tech company called Palantir, which builds software that empowers organizations to effectively integrate their data, decisions, and operations. Now, the person you see on the slide, Alex Karp, is the CEO of Palantir. And he was granted 141 million share options that vest quarterly. And this was in 2020, before his company went public. Another example is that of Tim Cook, a very famous figure associated with Apple. Now, the CEO, Tim Cook, was given 5 million Apple stocks, and this was part of his compensation package as per the 2011 agreement, which benchmarked Apple stock performance with peers in S&P 500. So now it leads us to an important number of questions from an accounting point of view. When do we recognize these expenses in our financial statements? That is, in our income statement as an expense and in our balance sheet as a liability. How do we measure these expenses? Now, prior to IFRS 2, only disclosures were required and not recognition, which means it was not included. These expenses were not included in our financial statements. But now, IFRS 2 mandates when goods or services acquired under share-based payment should be recognized. And secondly, it also tells us how to measure the cost of the goods and services received and the equity instruments granted in return. So it mandates both recognition and measurement. So you have no other way but to include them in your financial statements. That's a brief introduction on IFRS 2 share-based payments. Please watch out for further videos as we explore in depth the nuances of IFRS 2 share-based payment. And also, please feel free to post your comments and suggestions below. And press the like button if it gave you some insight into the background of the standard.